Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the...
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Arizona Cardinals and the Mexico City Diablos. Throwing on first down is Murray. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive back, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Strip that ball.
Now it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Got an open man, it's QT. He got 29 yards that time.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. He's at the 30. And they bring this one back. A scoop and score, a fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now we'll look at Kiki QT as he and the rest of the offense gear up to go again. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000...
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Interception, baby, all day.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And that last field goal, number 400 for him in his NFL career. I don't know whether this will wind up a Hall of Fame career, but he's certainly been at the top of his profession for quite a while.
And that is without question, my man. One of the best kickers we've seen in the past decade or so. Big congratulations to him. Pretty nice round number.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now Watson escaping the pressure right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Cunningham in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Murray going to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk, 83 yards. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. That'll be taken in the end zone. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. 11 yards there, first down. 17-0 our score after 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 48 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Flush to his right. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. It was Mika Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Watson, and it's caught. Touchdown. Kiki QT, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Murray now under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney merciless in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at about the 28. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's the home side to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes.
Look at the big man rumble! And all the way in for the touchdown. Jordan Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. Oh, now Murray has it stripped. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Being chased out left. And it's caught. Touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And his guys have taken the lead. Tavecchio to add the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
On first down, Johnson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Murray fighting, lost the football. Well, the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. 23 yards to pick up there. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, once again, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Throwing again. Watson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Got to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without
That's caught inside the 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 51 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. It's another touchdown pass for Deshaun Watson, his 5th of the afternoon. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1-minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Murray. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we'll look at Kiki Cutie as he and the rest of the offense gear up to go again. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there just before halftime. 47 yards. Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. To give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. From the red zone now, Watson. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This one taken from the 7.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So we've come to the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This is taken near the 13. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now we'll look at Kiki Cutie as he and the rest of the offense gear up to go again. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
Do you want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 yards there, first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 yards there, just like last play. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So he scrambled right but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The tackle there by Breanne Body Calhoun. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
At the 29-yard line.
Again, they run with Evans. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the
time we have to leave the booth.
Faking the give. Now Watson going deep for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT.
Here we go. No time now.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Flushed out right. Completes it to Dixon. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 30 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. It's been an easy day for them.
Here's Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Jordan Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. 1st down, Murray, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On second down, this is Edmonds. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. So here's the home side to take over on offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back, 24!
Watson, off play action. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Byron Murphy. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. Back
now in Mexico City. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
To throw again on second down. Murray, Whitney merciless, has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Cardinals on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 7. Draw play, Edmonds. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're heading towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
27 yards there, a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Reset. 19. Mike. I got one. Check.
Now a first down throw. Watson dancing to his left. Dixon complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
53.
To the air yet again. Watson flush to his right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange.
And it's caught. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Murray now on first down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Murray going to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They have gone to the 4th quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. And it's a big-time advantage for the Browns. They just scored again, pouring it on. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. The outcome of this one, Well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, a broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being...
That's caught inside the 20. And a huge play that time. 41 yards. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it. Because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zach Cunningham in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And now it's off to the airport for a date with Customs and a long flight north to the U.S. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.